We're talking today once again with Rabbi Leib Tropper. Today we're going to be discussing the life, the legacy of Maran Harav Eliyashuv, a Pesach Hador, Second Tzaddik L'Bracha. Rabbi Leib, can you tell us about some of your own personal experiences with this great Gaon who was recently nifter and who left such an impact on our generation? What were some of your own personal experiences?
To talk about a Gadol Hador of that capacity, of Harav Eliyashuv's capacity, Maran Harav Eliyashuv's capacity, is not something that I deserve to be able to do, or neither could anybody do that. It's impossible. He is something that it's ruboy. Majority of him is seiser. A little bit of him is nigla, is just what's revealed to us about him. His hanhagis, his conduct, the perfection of his conduct, his precision of conduct, and the beauty of his conduct, and the elegance of his conduct is way beyond our grasp. And that's why I sometimes get frustrated, maybe inappropriately frustrated, when I hear people say, yeah, there's a machlekes Rabbi Eliyashuv and some Rabbi in Brooklyn or this and that, and I just kind of say, what's going on here? Rabbi Eliyashuv got up in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, went to bed at 10:30, quarter to 11, got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, had his little hot tea, whatever it was, and he would go sit and learn straight till 6 o'clock, not non-stop. Basmada, and with a little niggin, he would be singing his little niggin while he learned. But what happened with me personally, interacting with him, what I saw, I had the privilege to see him a number of times. Every Motzei Shabbos, I used to go for almost every once a month, and I would have spent a half hour, 45 minutes with him. I was privileged through his generosity of him and his family to talk to him and ask his eitzah, ask his halacha shaylas, and it was fascinating. The breadth of knowledge and thought out. There's no shayla in the world, kemat, that you could ask him that it wasn't already thought out 10 times, and how could this be? I once asked him a shayla regarding a very important question about Kriyas Torah. That sounds like a remote topic, right? Kriyas Torah. And all of a sudden he tells me a sheet of the Torah for fall, and he tells me all the rayas that this achron, this kind of remote achron gives, and rayas he says, and why he may be good svara, why it may not be good svara. But I was like sitting there like dumbstruck. Like, not only did he know what the tshuva says, like some people would say, he says this, he says that, he says this, he says that, but he knew all the reasons in this verse and the rayas, and he knew those who countered that shita. He knew exactly their proof and why they. It was amusing, entertaining, and the Moira Kveit Shemayim was, I had to cover that Torah from that, just to watch him do that was amazing. And then to see him daven, watch him daven in the caravan we used to daven. My gosh, I mean, how could you learn more from anyone? Kedushas HaTfilah. You see somebody say Melech, Oizer U'Moshiach U'Mogen, like he would just, later in his years, he would like say the words a little bit louder. And it was just like amazing to see a person daven. He would daven from Psukei Zimra till Aleinu, looking in the siddur without peeking his head up once. I mean, have you ever seen that? I don't think anybody's seen that. I mean, he's not distracted by anything. He was just his head was in the siddur. That's the Allah. You look in the siddur. You look in the siddur. I mean, he has whatever the Allah was. That's what it was. He was in the Kichapayim. I once brought him money for tzedakah. He said to me, "I don't take any money." He actually jumped. He raised himself, his hands, and he raised his voice and screamed, "I don't take any money." So I said, Rav maybe knows any members of the family that could use the money. I don't know any family. I don't know anybody. I don't know. So I said, Rav, anybody? He says, yes. There's one person who's a nechei. He's like, I think he's amputee or he's limping. I'm not sure what. He can't get a job. He's making chassan for a grandson. Could you help him with the money? And then there's an almana on the block whose son died, who's making chassan for a grandson. Could you help them also? So I divided the check into two things, and divided whatever the amount, divided the equal amount. And the grandson says to him, he says, Saba, meaning grandfather, I'm going to go bring it to them right now, to those people. So he says, no, it's a mitzvah, I have to bring it to them. So the next morning, they were diving in the shmini, in the shul. So the Rav went over and he gave it to each one, because he was so calculated who should give it. Everything was thought out in such a way to be Oived Hashem completely. In him you saw, parents, in him you saw the words of the Chazon Ish, that the only way to truly serve Hashem, to be an Oived Hashem, is obedience. Uncompromising obedience to the Shulchan Aruch. I felt it, Avodas Hashem. I felt that he was doing the Ratzah. He wanted to do what Hashem wants me to do. How do I know what Hashem wants me to do? There's a Shulchan Aruch. It tells me what Hashem wants me to do. It was uncompromising. It was so beautiful. And it's Allah Chaveri. I'll leave you with this story, because it's really late for me and for others. Rabbi Eliyashuv, this is a story I saw in a sefer about him. It was Rosh Hashanah, the last Rosh Hashanah of his wife's life. She passed away that year. And she wasn't feeling well Rosh Hashanah, and it was Rosh Hashanah Shechal B'Shabbos. So the first day, we don't blow shofar. The second one is Rabbanan. Rabbi Eliyashuv had a certain chumrah, certain stringencies in shofar. They had a generous, fine, young person who knew how to blow shofar properly the way Rabbi Eliyashuv liked, come up to his house after the davening in the shul and blow special for Rabbi Eliyashuv the chumrah way that he liked to be hear shofar. And for his wife, that was done over the years. This person goes up to the house that last year, Wednesday Shabbos, and says after the person blew for him, he says, "My wife, she's not feeling so well. I'm playing Rabbanan this year. You know what? Forget about it. Don't bother. Just let it rest." So all of a sudden, we go to the then here's Rabbi Eliyashuv saying, Rabbi Eliyashuv saying, I'm sorry, this person here, Rabbi Eliyashuv saying in himself, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake. Yiddish, I missed. Oh yeah. So he heard it, so he ran back. He says, "I heard the Rav saying mistake. Oh, I'm so happy you're still here." I realized that blowing shofar today is Rabbanan, but chesed for my wife is the Raisa. Could you please go in and blow shofar for her? That's the person who used his halachic mind to become a greater tzelem alekim, divine human being. Just an intro. Thank you.
To be continued, Rabbi Leib Tropper. Thank you very much.